On the agenda tonight, we're going back to the late 70s. We're going to be taking a look at Dolly Parton, Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt, and they're going to be performing The Sweetest Gift. Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, we'll get the ladies up on screen. And recently, we did take a look at Emmylou Harris with her performance of Luxury Liner. But in that particular analysis video, I got a bit sidetracked with the guitar and Albert Lee's playing, which is understandable, of course. So I thought we'd take a look at Emmylou again, but this time with Dolly and Linda, who, by the way, have their own designated analysis videos on the channel, if you want to check those out independently. But let's jump into this performance and see what we can see.
One day your mother went to a prison to see her the precious son. She told the warden how much she loved him. It did not matter what he had done. She did not bring to him a parole of pardon free. She brought no son, none to see. It was a halo sent down from heaven, like the sweetest gift, a mother's smile. She left a smile you can remember. She's gone to heaven from heartache free. Those walls around you could never change her. You were her baby, and there will be. She did not bring to him a parole of pardon. He brought no son, no gold, none to see. It was a halo sent down from heaven, like the sweetest gift, a mother's smile. She did not bring to him a parole of pardon. She brought no sin, no gold, none to see. It was a halo sent down from heaven, like the sweetest gift, a mother's smile. The sweetest gift, a mother's smile.
And there we have it. Now, with the previous analysis videos that we've done, where we've got a lead vocal and harmonies coming in with other singers, I think hopefully now you're listening out for the way that great singers blend their voices when they sing with each other. Because here we've got three, just great artists, but great vocalists when they're taking a lead vocal. But then when these three get together, they just blend their voices so well, and to the point of actually leaning into the sound vocally at the same time as each other. They're so locked into each other's techniques, but just the way that they sound, and these techniques that they're using in terms of applying more air, applying more compression, all of these things, they're not thinking about this from a technique standpoint, they're just thinking about doing it, and it happens. So top level singing here, as we know from these three just being bang on pitch wise, and you can see I have run the isolated vocals through the pitch monitoring software so that we can see exactly. I mean, Linda, it's just always bang on anyway. I mean, you can literally move it anywhere, but with these three vocalists, I can move it anywhere, and you'll see this kind of thing over the D4, vibrato, but just bang on pitch, going up to the E4, bang on, and the G4 up here, bang on. And, you know, if I just go through, obviously now, Dolly Parton's vocal, you'll see here, D4, bang on, C4, bang on, and when we have this, let me just take it back, because we can listen to this vibrato. Breathe. It's quite a subtle fast vibrato, as we did address in that analysis video on Dolly's voice, but again it makes it totally unique. When Linda's singing her lead vocal, and then you'll see Emmylou come in with that counter vocal, but it's at the same level, but they're singing different melodies, so it's like having two lead voices, and if it isn't just perfectly, you know, on pitch, but just perfectly delivered, it can be confusing because you're not really sure which voice to listen to. But Emmylou's voice plays that part perfectly because it's there, but it's not overpowering. Have a listen again.
Did not bring to him after all our pardon free. She brought no sin, none to see.
So just there, listen to the way that Emmylou, at the end of her line, she takes down her volume. That, again, it's that dynamic range and dynamic appreciation, because she knows that Linda's line is about to come in, so it's almost like taking your attention, taking your focus, but then Emmylou's bringing her voice down because Linda's voice is now going to be effectively at that center stage. You know, that's what we're listening to. But again, you know, it's really subtle details, but it makes all the difference, especially when it's a minimalist performance. You know, we've just got guitar to begin with, and then really subtle kind of piano and bass that comes in later. But have a listen to Emmylou's voice again, the way that she dips off at the end of her line.
She brought no sin, none to see. It was a halo sent down from heaven's light.
I mean, there is so much in here. The way that now all of the voices come in at the same level, and on the heaven, the thun of heaven is really light collectively. It's not as if one of them's gone heaven and, you know, it's too loud. It's just perfectly blended.
Down from heaven's light.
And yeah, they've all got a little bit of vibrato on their sound, but it's the blending that just makes it so easy to listen to. So the other thing to not let fly under your radars is the fact that this performance starts just with the acoustic guitar and Emmylou's playing, which I mentioned in that previous video, but we're going to look at it here because, I mean, these ladies as well, being instrumentalists, they play at a level that might not be appreciated by people that don't play the guitar. We looked at Dolly's playing and Linda's playing, where they've all got this ability to play the guitar at a level that is not just picking up and, you know, strumming out a few chords. There's technical ability going on here in order to pick out strings independently. So we're just going to listen again to the performance now, just focusing on the guitar.
One day your mother went to a prison to see her but precious son.
So here, I mean, this is just Emmylou's guitar that's doing all of the work and, you know, setting the tempo, doing everything that you need for this performance to be in the right place. You can see that Emmylou is concentrating on that right hand and jumping between this A string and the E string. So, and we've kind of got this you know, that occasional upstroke in there as well, but this running bass line that's happening the whole time. So we've got this C over to a G if you want the chords, and she starts out straight, and dynamically it's kind of there. And that was a little change over to the G, but it's, again, she's playing with just enough to have the accompaniment where it needs to be, rather than you kind of overdoing it, because this performance is all about the subtlety of the playing, but the vocal delivery, the blending of the voices is not too offensive. When you're playing fingerstyle and you're picking out our strings, that's what happens. Same thing, kind of like that. So Emmylou has got that in her playing. Even though she's using a pick here, she's combining these two elements that she did in that previous analysis where the tempo was a lot faster. So this is more about subtlety and dynamics that we've got going on here. She's also throwing in that simplified F shape, but still having this alternating bass line, so that we're going from now the D string to the A string. So we have this C, G, there's a run somewhere, kind of like that. And I think it's really subtle, that run that does come in, but it's in there somewhere. But this is it, that all of this stuff that I'm playing is quite technically advanced for playing guitar. When you're playing rhythm guitar and you're just doing one thing, for example, going, you're getting more of an average kind of sound. You're not getting a precise sound of when you're picking out root notes or picking out notes with your chords, because by going, you can definitely hear that note changing, whereas if I'm going, you can now see how the C has disappeared into the strum of the chord, and the only thing you hear is the G. So you don't get the... I mean, it's tiny details, but hopefully you'll be able to hear the difference between those two technique-wise, because the second version of picking out the strings is a lot more difficult, and you have to play a hell of a lot more to practice that, to be able to pick out that string while doing that action, kind of just knowing where the strings are subconsciously without having to really concentrate on it, especially when she's singing at the same time. That's the kind of thing that indicates the level that she's playing at, that when you start doing this kind of thing, you will have to look at the strings all the time, let alone then performing a vocal with it and just being spot on with the vocals, harmonizing with other singers. I always say that playing and singing at the same time doubles the difficulty, so we've got that in this performance, but it's just the detail of that guitar is just, I mean, it's great. And there are so many singers, especially country artists, who have got all of this ability instrumentally as well as being able to just sing at a really top level, so that they can sing loads of different genres, loads of different songs. I think any country analysis video that we've done, at no point has there ever been something right at the beginning of the song that wasn't very good. It's just the top level the whole way through. But this is it. That's the bar, pretty much, to enter into country music. Technically, you've got to be at a particular level, you know, on your instrument, but then you've also got to be at that level vocally. So yeah, there's so much. If you were going to try and do this, you have to have so many things, so many kind of weapons in your arsenal that you can go to perform at this level. I just want to have a quick listen to the isolated vocals so that we can appreciate them a little bit more.
One day your mother went to a prison to see that precious song. She told the warden how much he loved him. It did not matter what he had done.
I mean, this vocal accuracy is just off the charts. When we're looking at Linda's voice, we've seen her do this before, of course, but I mean, her intervals are just so spot on. And again, when you're looking at it from this kind of distance, it does look like, you know, she's just bang on the lines of 440 hertz tuning. But when we do zoom in by quite a lot, then you'll see this kind of thing where the lines that looked like, you know, they're bang on, you know, ever so slightly sharp. But this is the point, that this isn't pitch corrected or auto-tuned. So when it looks like we're hitting lines, it's not actually the fact. You know, when we're looking at manipulated vocals, this will just be dead on the line all the time. But because it's not, I mean, it's just a natural vocal. We know that because it's from the late 70s. So pitch correction wasn't an option. And auto-tune wasn't an option for live performances. So you just had to be good. Unfortunately, whenever you're harmonizing with another singer, any inaccuracies get exaggerated, because especially with a singer like Linda, if you're coming in with a backing harmony, she is spot on. So if you're ever so slightly off the interval that she's singing, like say for example you're singing a fifth, you know, either higher or lower, it means that your interval has got to match hers. When she's so perfect all the time, if you're a little bit sharp, it's going to stand out because your ear has a reference point.
She did not bring to
There, that na 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 that Emmylou comes in with, absolutely bang on. Even though the pitch monitoring software is focusing on Linda's voice, Emmylou's voice is, yeah, you would tell straight away if that was out, if that was off. So yeah, just bang on.
him for all our pardon free. She brought no sin.
And there, we did get a little bit of Emmylou's voice here. Again, just confirming what I was saying about her just being bang on pitch, and Linda here on the D4. I mean, this is really a faultless vocal.
She brought no sin. No.
So, here is Linda's voice. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to get this up on screen so you can see it a little bit more clearly. Emmylou's voice then takes over. So, you know, it's great that it's picked it up like that. It's literally given us one voice going into the next. But looking at those lines, the only way that you know it's a different voice is because we can hear that the voice has changed. It's a different tone. But it really shows on the pitch monitoring software how accurate these two singers are with each other. And then we're back to Linda here. So again, when we're saying about the pitch accuracy of all of these singers we're listening to, the D4, this is where Linda is hitting her D4. And I'll tell you what, let's zoom into this so that we can see it. Here is Linda's D4 and this is Emmylou's D4. So when I say about, you know, when we have vibrato, it's directly over this line, these waves, you know, it's going right through the middle of Linda's voice. So then when we go through here and right through the middle of Emmylou's voice, it is that line. So that's what I mean. These two are just so bang on. So that's what I'm saying, that when you look back at videos like this, it's in a different category, because I know that there are performances where it might be two singers and it might be three singers harmonizing with each other, but nowadays that's most likely to be pitch corrected after. So what I'm saying is, this is the most accurate singing you will see that hasn't been manipulated, because when Dolly comes in, again, none of these singers come in and one of them's a little bit off pitch, but then the other two are great. You know, it's just great across the board. You'll hear this at the end of all of their phrases. They're just tight from a vocal perspective.
Sent down from heaven like the sweetest gift.
Like that, Gift, another great example. One of them isn't going gift. And applying vibrato is gift, gift. And just cutting it off straight away.
A mother's smile.
And even when they apply vibrato, mother smile, you know, they'll all end at the same time. So it's that vocal tightness, you know, like you would have with the band, being tight, getting the timings exactly right. But sometimes it doesn't work when you get top artists who then, you know, sing with other artists. It's not quite as good as you thought it would be, because they're being independent artists singing together rather than being a collective and singing as one, which is what we get here. It's like three great artists, but they're all singing in a way that showcases their talent individually, but obviously, you know, the sum is greater than the parts. So when you get the parts being this good originally, then the final product is always just going to be so impressive on a totally different level, but just a level that trying to achieve that, when you put in the instrumentation as well and think, right, now you've got to play guitar in exactly this way if you're going to perform it like this, then yeah, it's even more impressive, considering that, yeah, the other two singers could be playing guitars as well. Anyway, thank you guys for suggesting this particular video for me to take a look at. And as always, keep those suggestions and requests coming in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!